As an executive or top management, you're always in a constant struggle in identifying the performance gaps for the organizational activities that matter most. You need to be able to identify any performance deviations in a timely manner in order to take the appropriate corrective action to ensure that everything is running as it should. ITWORX Mobile Dashboard enables you to track the performance and progress of your strategic initiatives or projects, as well as the performance of your KPIs on the go. In this demo, we will be showing how the ITWORX Mobile Dashboard can help executives or top management in monitoring the performance and drilling down to performance details while collaborating about the results. Khalid, a high-level official in the government sector, uses ITWORX Mobile Dashboard in order to monitor the city strategy throughout his day-to-day activities. As he opens his Windows tablet, he notices the ITWORX Mobile Dashboard Live tile. A quick glance on the tile shows him the overall status and how many major elements in the strategy are red, amber, or green. He notices that some of the strategy elements are underperforming and he needs to have a closer look. He clicks on the Live tile and opens the app. With the app open, Khalid can quickly glance and see the items that are underperforming as the red status grabs his attention. Secondly, he can see the other items that are struggling with an amber status. The home page is by default grouped in a way that allows Khalid to monitor his sector's performance, the performance of the strategies in his city, the items he marked as a favorite for closer monitoring, and the items that he is responsible for. So now that Khalid has seen an overview of the items in the homepage, he decides to drill down in the healthcare sector as it is underperforming and requires his attention. He can see the list of KPIs associated with the healthcare sector, and looking at them, he can see that the percentage of resident doctors KPI is underperforming while having an improved performance from the previous period. The availability of hospital equipment KPI performance is underperforming as well, with a deteriorating performance compared to the previous time. He can see that from the red tile color and the trend arrow indication on each tile. This, in turn, states that the hospital system is understaffed and not properly equipped. Seeing as how this performance is unacceptable, Khalid then decides that he needs to communicate with the person responsible for the healthcare sector. He does this by clicking Jamal Faht and can either send him an email or initiate a quick Skype call. In the event that the organization was using Link as well, a link call could have been initiated. Khalid then decides to drill down further in the KPIs in order to see the additional details for each one. He clicks on percentage of resident doctors KPI. He can now see the status of the KPI displayed in a gauge, where he can see the thresholds for each level. He can see that the KPI has a score of 55% because its actual is 33%, whereas the target was 60%. Looking at the trend analysis, Khalid identifies that the percentage of resident doctors at this time period is less than the previous time period. Becoming curious as how this might have happened, Khalid posts a comment to ask for further clarifications through the comments section. After placing the comment, Khalid then decides to see where this KPI's performance will impact. He scrolls to the right, passing by additional KPI details and reaching the section where he can see that this KPI contributes in both the health objective and the healthcare sector. With this, Khalid was able to identify the sectors that were underperforming, drill down to the sector and identify the KPIs that were struggling, in addition to contacting the sector owner while collaborating in the KPI dashboard to identify what can be done to rectify any performance deviations. Now that Khalid has finished drilling down into the sector performance, he hasn't forgotten that there was a strategy underperforming as well, so he heads back to the home page where he can drill down to the smart people strategy for further information. Upon entering the strategy dashboard, Khalid can see the various objectives associated with the strategy and quickly spots that the digital citizenship objective requires additional attention. Clicking on the digital citizenship objective directs Khalid into the objectives page where he can see the KPIs and initiatives for that objective. Looking at the KPIs, Khalid can see that the number of reported online crimes and fraud KPI has a red status. Khalid looks at the projects and finds that there is an enforced digital loss project that should enhance the KPI's performance if executed correctly. From the overview of the project, we can see that the financials are doing fine, but the schedule seems to be a bit delayed and the project's KPIs seem to have no data at the moment. Khalid decides to drill down into the project page as this will provide additional information on the project, and enhancing the performance of the project will in turn reflect on the KPI's performance. In the project page, Khalid can see additional information about the project. Looking at the financial information, he can see that the expenditures has yet to reach the budget. As for the schedule information, he can see that it is slightly behind schedule. Looking further on the milestones, he identifies that the first milestone is not yet complete when we are past March. Completing this milestone will in turn enhance the schedule of the project, thus reflecting on the KPI. As in the KPI dashboard, Khalid has the ability to contact the project owners and collaborate about the results to ensure that the performance of the milestone is on track. With this, Khalid has reviewed the strategy of the sector and the strategy for his city and has collaborated about the results to ensure that the performance is enhanced. As we've seen in this demo, ITWORX Mobile Dashboard is a very intuitive mobile-based app. The data in the app comes from a back-end system that city employees can access to update the data or integrate with back-end systems to pull the data automatically. It can integrate with Microsoft EPM to enable more in-depth tracking of projects. The strategy information would typically come from ITWORX OnTrack performance management platform. More info can be found at www.itworx.com.